I, 25-year-old male, am in a controlling relationship with a girl, 22-year-old female, that I love, and I need some advice. To jump right in, we started dating 3 years ago and hit it off immediately. We were, and I think still are, really into each other. We share each other's deepest things, help each other through rough times, etc. and etc. Mostly all the good relationship type stuff. She's definitely my best friend. Ever since the beginning though, she's been controlling. In the past, she's regularly looked through my phone, tried to bar me from things, like going to bars, because she doesn't trust me or feels jealous. She tries to cut female friends out of my life, deleted females' texts from my phone, and yelling at me and texting me, telling me to isolate myself from them, isolating myself from my regular friends, fights with me with them whenever I make plans with my friends, needs to text me every 10 minutes when I'm out with my friends, and still does, puts me down for obsessing over my hobbies like playing video games, which maybe is okay. We've had discussions, eventually fights as well, about this stuff many times over the years. She has gotten better. She doesn't look through my phone as much anymore, and then she comes to hang out with my female friends, and she's more comfortable with me texting them. I'm more able to make plans with friends as long as I invite her. I'm not feeling as isolated from my friends in general, etc. She also feels much more comfortable about my group of friends, even organizing an event with them recently. But when I make plans, usually weeks in advance to give her ample notice, she will still talk down on them, usually a few days before because of gaming or drinking or something like that. And she says, why can't we have a relaxing weekend? And more time than not, it just starts a big argument. With me saying how it's important for me to have time with my friends, I'm an extroverted person, I don't get to see them often, it doesn't mean I'm picking them over you, etc. It typically results in her not attending the night and weekend and feeling deflated for me because of the argument/guilt. I recently was fed up with it in a bit of frustration, oh my gosh, more or less, giving her an ultimatum. I gave her an ultimatum telling her I think we should break up if you don't seriously work on these issues. She burst into tears and tossed me out. She's been thinking things over for a couple days per request. We haven't talked yet. Problem is, now I'm racked with guilt about how I handled it, and I'm afraid to talk to her, or I'm afraid of her answer. I want to reach out and apologize, telling her how poorly and unconstructively I handled the situation. Okay, that's pretty much the gist of the story. And just reading this story, I'm gonna say, if anybody's in this situation, just know that you're a really good guy. You really care about your girlfriend a lot. And the reality is you care more about your girlfriend in this situation than your own sanity. Let that sink in. This guy did it for 3 years. If anybody does this for an extended period of time, you care about your girlfriend's life more than your life. You care about her life more than your own sanity. You would sacrifice you feeling good about your day. You would sacrifice your mental health just so she can boss you around. That's basically what's going on. And cool, whatever. Some guys might think this is justified. They're like, yo, this is the woman I'm going to marry. This is the woman I love. I don't care. I'll put up with it. But we have to realize that the world doesn't care about or respect people who do things like that. It sounds fucked up, but I was just the same way too. Hear me out. The more you take this kind of behavior from her, the more that you really put yourself on the line for somebody, when they clearly are not thinking about your happiness as well. And in terms of dating and women, she's gonna have less respect for you the more and more you let her do these things. It sounds crazy, right? I thought so too, because I was the same way. You're thinking, yo, I'm giving her a lot of chances because I love her. She should be reciprocating. That it doesn't work like that. More or less, this is how it happens. In a female's mind, she'll do things like this to you. She'll keep trying to push you and make you compromise ridiculous things like hanging out with your friends and playing video games. She wants you to compromise on that. What? She'll make you try to compromise on these things little by little by little. And what will happen over time is you'll pay attention and you'll do it. And the thing is, at the end of all of that, subconsciously, she's just gonna say, trust me, I understand, it makes no sense. But the reality is, the more you just compromise from her, when she's doing disrespectful behavior to you, she's not gonna fuck with you. It makes no sense, but this is just how the female mind works. She's gonna try to shit test you, consciously or subconsciously, and at the end, if you fold, she's gonna want another man that's more manly than you. And what happens most of the time is a girl leaves a guy like this after she's been treating him like this for a long time, or she'll cheat on him because subconsciously her female brain wants a real alpha. She wants a guy that wouldn't take shit like that. But then again, she keeps putting shit on that because, yeah, that's how she feels, but that's not what she needs in life. She doesn't need for a guy to make those compromises for her. That's just her female mouth talking, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, I want to start talking about what kind of girl this is. Okay, so a girl like this who texts you, and I actually had this happen to me. Like, I used to date this girl that would call me 100 times when I was out in the night. And if I didn't, like, she would text me all the time. If a girl is texting you every 10 minutes and wants you to respond, if she doesn't let you hang out with your friends, if she doesn't let you play your video games, she's basically letting you not even live your life, but she's not letting you have basic human rights. If she's not letting you have basic human rights that you living in a first world country can play video games or hang out with whoever you want, she probably has a mental illness. That's one thing. Maybe she really has no concept of what's right and what's wrong, and if you want to save your relationship, this would probably be the only alternative route other than breaking up. Seek her some mental health. Some other things could be, she could be a damaged girl. She had traumatizing experiences with males in the past, so she doesn't trust males at all, and she's projecting that onto you. And the last part is that she could just have really unrealistic expectations of relationships. A lot of these females today, and this is really social media's fault, like social media like glorifies the celebrities and the 1% lifestyle. That's the 1% lifestyle. 99% of people don't live like that. So she's thinking that you have to be this Superman to her, because that's the narrative she was fed on social media, but that's not how a real relationship works. And she could be like uptight on that. And all those three types that I just listed, which is, damaged girl or mental illness or just unrealistic expectations, this type of woman will make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing by not shutting down your video games fast enough, by not cutting off your friends fast enough. And she will cheat on you and then blame you. Oh, it's because you didn't stop playing those damn games. Oh, it's because you hang out with your friends instead of you don't hang out with me. And listen, you might think this is ridiculous, but search around on the internet. This shit happens very often. Shout out Richard Cooper, okay? So Richard Cooper talks about this thing called betatization through 1,000 concessions, which means like every time your girl or your wife says, I don't want you to do that. Don't play those video games. Oh, don't do this. Don't do that. Oh, no, you can't hang out with her. You can't do that. And you bend your back every single time. It's slowly turning yourself into a beta male over saying yes to those things 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying? And also, shout out Stefan Labossiere. I probably butchered his name, but he's a YouTuber, and he also says, don't try to lose yourself trying not to lose her. This is what happens when women do these kind of things to you. And the fucked up part about it is a guy is dealing with it because he really loves her. But in the end, a woman doesn't respect a man like this, and she might not cheat on you, but she will leave you or be dissatisfied with you and want a more of an alpha male. In a situation like this, your brain might be thinking how to take the route of least pain. You don't want to break up with her, but you don't want to deal with this. You're trying to think of it. And I'm going to tell you a phrase that helped me a lot in the past year. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're going to experience pain either way. The pain of losing her or the pain of you losing your sanity. In this situation, I say lose her because she's never going to change. People don't change for people. People change internally. So if your girl does not see anything wrong with her actions, I say pack it up because she's never going to change for you. It's going to take something drastic to happen to her, and looking at herself from the inside, seeing at where her values are at and why she's wrong for her to change. But you, as the man, if you've been dealing with this for 3 years and she's not changing, she's never going to change for you, dog. You deserve better. She deserves a better relationship with somebody. It's just not you. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when a guy puts a girl on a pedestal. And like, don't tell me that I'm wrong, because you can see it happen thousands, hundreds of thousands of times if you just search the internet. It happens to a lot of men every day. You know what I'm saying? And shout out Steph is Cold. He says, love a woman, but never fall in love with her. When you fall in love with a woman, you're subjective to this type of behavior and you deal with it. When you just love her, you appreciate her, but you don't accept the bullshit. All right? I'm Rich Asakura, and I'm out. Peace!